Hey, I'm JRLA. Welcome to the first episode of the Level Up Business Podcast. In this episode, I'm going to share how I went from being a struggling B2B entrepreneur, trying to break free from the commodity trap to differentiate myself and my business, while at the same time overcoming self-limiting beliefs and addictions to become a two-time best-selling author and global keynote speaker, which helped provide a path to build a consulting firm in the very competitive financial services space that would go on to do multiple seven figures of revenue. Now I'm on a mission to help other B2B entrepreneurs elevate their brand and expand their influence so that they can grow their business, all without sacrificing their well-being. So what type of B2B entrepreneur should subscribe and listen to the Level Up Business Podcast? Well, this podcast is ideal for B2B entrepreneurs who are ready to invest in their growth. They understand the value of connections and conversations and content. But most importantly, they're committed to leveraging their wisdom to take their business to a whole new level of growth. The marketing, sales, and leadership insights that I share on this podcast will help B2B entrepreneurs in financial services like fintech, financial advisors, and commercial lenders. I'm also going to be helping B2B entrepreneurs in technology, running SaaS and MSP firms. And finally, B2B entrepreneurs in professional services will gain value from this podcast, like consultants, advisors, attorneys, and agencies, because the common thread for each one of these types of businesses, each one of these types of B2B entrepreneurs, is that you're selling a service where your knowledge, your expertise, your wisdom will help you to differentiate yourself from others who do what you do so that you can generate more leads and close more deals. Every single time that you tune into this podcast, I'm going to share practical perspectives that I've gained over the past 20 years as a B2B entrepreneur myself. Perspective that you can apply, perspective that you can use, perspective that you can take action with. I'm also going to unlock the wisdom of other B2B entrepreneurs to share the lessons that they've learned along their journey of growth to help you level up your business as well. But first, I want to give you a copy of my best-selling book, Banking on Change. This book is the leader's guide to achieving exponential growth in the age of AI. Text the word book to me right now on my cell phone, 832-549-5792, and I'll send you a copy of Banking on Change that includes the biggest lessons I've learned as a B2B entrepreneur studying the intersection of marketing, sales, technology, and human behavior over the last 20 plus years. So how did I get here? How did we get here to share time on this podcast? Well, let's go back. You see, growing up, I was the shy kid. I never liked to talk in class. In fact, I went to speech therapy when I was very young because I had an issue with my hearing that made it a challenge to pronounce, even now I have some challenges, to pronounce certain words. Truth be told, I was also never a fan of school, and I hated writing. That's why if you told me 22 years ago that I would go on to write 2 best-selling books and launch what would become one of the top 5% podcasts in the entire world, as well as become a global keynote speaker, I would have told you that you were crazy. But I never let any of these obstacles stop me. In fact, when I look back on my life, I realize that every obstacle that has stood in my way has really been nothing more than an opportunity to continue to level up, to continue to grow, because those obstacles have been an opportunity in disguise. It's been these obstacles that have also helped me to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because growth never ever happens in the comfort zone. For example, when I was in the 9th grade, I remember the first time that I volunteered when we had to give a presentation to the class. I was the first one to raise my hand, the first one to go, the first one to speak. And I was a little nervous. I was a little scared. I had some butterflies in my stomach. But here's the thing. The more that I volunteered to go first, the easier it became. Then during my freshman year in college, I took a public speaking course that helped me to continue to build my confidence to speak in front of a room full of people. And now today, I walk on stages in front of a couple thousand people. But the truth is this, I still get butterflies. I still get nervous right before going on. But do you know what those butterflies tell me? They tell me that I'm alive. They tell me that I'm about to grow. They tell me that I'm about to level up. Now, all of these lessons I learned have come in handy over the years. For example, when I started my web development firm as a sophomore in college, because a girl told me at the time that my band sucked and I needed to do something with my life. You see, I like this girl and I wanted to impress her. So on that very day, I quit my band, pawned off some of my equipment, and started a web development firm that would build one of the very first social media networks to connect college students together so that they could bypass the college bookstores and save money. I saw very early on the power of the internet to connect people together with people. Except there was someone else out of Harvard who had a much bigger vision for connecting people together with people on the internet. And obviously Mark Zuckerberg would go on to found Facebook. However, over the past 20 plus years, the business that I founded, it would go through 3 really big major transformations because we would shift our focus to help financial institutions, to help banks and credit unions uncover and eliminate blind spots in their customer journeys that were costing them millions in loans and deposits. And now, as I write the next chapter in my own entrepreneurial journey, I'm on a mission to unlock everything that I've learned along the last 20 plus years as a B2B entrepreneur to help other B2B entrepreneurs elevate their brand and expand their influence so that they can also grow their business. But like all great journeys in life, my B2B entrepreneurial journey hasn't always been easy. However, I am grateful. I'm grateful for every challenge, every roadblock, because it's given me an opportunity. It's given me a choice to continue to level up and grow. Because every obstacle, once again, is just simply another opportunity in disguise. And along the way, over my journey, I've been on the highest of peaks. I've also been on the lowest of lows. I've been in a lot of valleys. I've battled addictions. I've battled depression. I have battled imposter syndrome, self-limiting beliefs. In fact, I've also battled some health issues along the way that have been a result of my hard driving entrepreneurial nature. I was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis all the way back in 2010. And that was brought on by working 80 to 100-hour weeks to try to get my business started. But it wasn't until 2012 when my wife, the same girl who told me that my punk rock band sucked and to do something with my life, she gave me an ultimatum. We had just had our second child, and I was not in a good place. She said it was the business or the family. She said, you got to pick one. And it was then I knew I needed to make a change. It was then I knew I really needed to level up as an entrepreneur. Also as a husband, as a father. You see, from the outside back then, everyone thought, wow, J.R. Leahy's doing amazing. His business is growing. He's winning awards. And we were growing. And the money was good. The money was great. But on the inside, I was falling apart. I hated myself. I hated my business, what my business had become. I hated what I had become as a husband, as a father, as an entrepreneur. And I was lost. I was so frustrated being viewed as just another commodity, just another vendor to clients. I was tired of competing on price. But here's the truth. Back then, there was nothing unique about the work that we did. And the harder truth is this. I had fallen into the commodity trap as an entrepreneur. I had no real expertise to speak of. I had no real perspective to share to help others. I had no unique methodology to guide others. What I did know is I wanted more for myself. I wanted more for my family. I wanted more for my business. But back then, all I knew was what I knew. What I knew was not enough to take me to the next level. It took me 10 years as a B2B entrepreneur to realize that I needed help. I needed help to continue to level up. I needed help to continue to grow. At that point, I was in the biggest valley I had ever been in my entrepreneurial journey. And I knew that if I was going to get to the next level, I would need to level up in all areas of my life. Level up as a husband, level as a father, and level up as an entrepreneur. So in early 2013, I started investing in myself, something I had never done before. I was investing in my own personal development. On the personal side, I was reading personal development books. I was listening to personal development podcasts. Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins. They'd come with me on these long runs, listening to Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil. I started to level up. My spiritual well-being started to level up. I was reading the Bible. I was connecting with God again. My wife, my marriage we started to level up. We went to counseling. We started working out together. We started to level up our relational well-being, our physical well-being to heal our marriage. I also started working with a therapist to heal some childhood trauma, some self-limiting beliefs that were keeping me stuck so that I could level up as a father. And then on the business side, as an entrepreneur, I hired David C. Baker to help me build a business around expertise, while at the same time I worked with Blair Enns to learn how to win without pitching. Then I joined Strategic Coach, where Dan Sullivan taught me to think about my thinking every 90 days. Then I also have learned from Chad Willardson and Platinum Elevated, who's most recently taught me two big lessons that are guiding my thinking today. Number one is no success can compensate for failure in the home. And the second thing that I learned from Chad is sometimes you have to have a breakdown before you have a breakthrough. And let me tell you, the biggest breakdowns that I've had as a B2B entrepreneur over the years, those breakdowns have always led to my biggest breakthroughs. It didn't seem like it at the time. When I was breaking down, there was a lot of pain and there was a lot of heartache. But if I look back over the last 20 plus years as a B2B entrepreneur, those breakdowns were always followed by a breakthrough. For example, it was because of a breakdown back in 2018, I had a key employee leave. It was through that breakdown, I had a breakthrough to write and publish my first best-selling book, Banking on Digital Growth, that came out in early 2020. And it was because of a breakdown when COVID shut down conferences and events that I was going to go launch my book and go on a speaking tour. COVID shut down those events, canceled all the conferences. It was from that breakdown that I had a breakthrough to launch the Banking on Digital Growth podcast, which would become one of the top 5% podcasts in the entire world. It was because of a breakdown when writing my second best-selling book, Banking on Change, when my publisher went bankrupt. That was when I had a breakthrough and saw an opportunity to help other B2B entrepreneurs elevate their brand and expand their business, to expand their influence so that they could level up themselves. When I look back over the last 2 decades as a B2B entrepreneur, so much has changed. And as we continue to move forward in the age of AI, so much will continue to change, especially when it comes to marketing and sales strategies for B2B entrepreneurs. That's why I want to give you my best-selling book, Banking on Change. It is the leader's guide to achieving exponential growth in the age of AI. So text book to my cell phone right now, 832-549-5792. And I'll text you a copy of Banking on Change so that you can continue to level up your business. As you look ahead and think about your own entrepreneurial journey to level up your business as a B2B entrepreneur, I want to give you 3 practical actions that you can take, that you can apply right now to move forward and make progress. Number 1, don't wait to ask for help. It took me 10 years and a lot of pain, a lot of emotional pain, physical pain, relational pain, spiritual pain. It took me a lot of pain before I raised my hand to get some objective perspective, to get some expertise to help me break through, to help me grow, to help me level up as a father, as a husband, as an entrepreneur. Think about it for a moment. Think about where you might be stuck right now. And because you're stuck, you can't level up. Are you stuck with your marketing? Are you stuck with your sales? Is it leadership? Is it staffing? Whatever you're stuck with, I want you to know that there's another entrepreneur out there who's been where you were before. And they can help get you unstuck so that you can continue to grow and level up as well. The second thing I encourage you to do and take action on is to inventory the people you spend the most time with. That's because, as I learned on my runs with the great business philosopher Jim Rohn, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Who are you spending time with right now? It's people on your team, clients. Is your team growing? Are your clients growing? Or is your team stuck? Maybe your clients are stuck. Are your friends growing? Are you growing? Or have you gotten stuck? Have you gotten complacent? And if so, who do you need to level up with? Number 3, remember that your past experiences are nothing more than the lessons you can apply going forward into the future to level up. Once again, sometimes You have to have a breakdown before you have a breakthrough. This is why it's so incredibly important to take time to pause, to review, and reflect on all the progress that you've made along your journey as an entrepreneur. Now, I recommend doing this at least once per week, if not once per month. Review and reflect on your progress. This way, you can celebrate your wins while at the same time transforming what might feel like failure. But that failure is nothing more than the tuition that you're paying, the lessons that you're gaining that you can apply to level up your business. So take a moment, think, write down the breakthroughs that you've had already following what might have felt like a big breakdown at the time. I know there are many B2B entrepreneurs right now who are feeling challenges. They might feel some breakdowns when it comes to their marketing and sales strategies, particularly as we move forward in the age of AI. In fact, our recent marketing and sales benchmark study found that the majority of B2B entrepreneurs are struggling with three key areas. Number one, they're struggling to differentiate their business in a crowded market. Number two is they're struggling to generate enough qualified leads and convert those leads into new clients. And the number three is they're struggling to measure the ROI of their marketing and sales activity. Now, I know firsthand what it feels like to struggle with these challenges as a B2B entrepreneur. And remember, every obstacle is nothing more than an opportunity in disguise for you to continue to level up and grow. That's why I'm excited to help you unlock your biggest marketing and sales breakthroughs in upcoming podcast episodes. But in the meantime, I want you to hit the subscribe button wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as share this episode with a friend. And then when you're ready to level up your business, send me a text to schedule a Level Up business review. Text me 832-549-5792. And in just 60 minutes, I'll help you uncover your biggest marketing and sales blind spots where you walk away feeling clear, you're going to feel focused, you're going to feel confident, because you're going to know exactly what you need to do next to elevate your brand and expand your influence to grow your business, all without sacrificing your well-being.